Okay, and next we have PrimeVerse Forced Login, written by R.K. Biliou. It is 281 pages, $4.99. It is available on Kindle Unlimited, and here is the author's description. Welcome, new residents of PrimeVerse. By now, your old meat body has been utilized to its fullest. Thank you for your contribution. You have stepped foot on a new journey for humankind, the journey to a life that will never end. You have started as a blank slate. The sky's the limit. Be all that you can be. You are now in PrimeVerse. We built PrimeVerse on the backs of many of the most popular video games with one goal: to make the most realistic, fantastic world for you to live in and your fellow residents to live and thrive in. You can live, laugh, and love. You can feel pain, hatred, and anguish. This world allows you the full range of human experiences while also granting abilities unheard of. Will you unlock the secrets of magic? Will you study blade or bow? Will you attempt to recreate the technology of the world you left behind? Anything is possible. No matter how many times you die, it still sucks. For Hudson, the virtual world of PrimeVerse isn't all bad. It's beautiful, much nicer than the overpopulated Earth. It almost feels like a vacation, except for the volatile wildlife, lack of amenities, and, oh yeah, the inability to log out. Exploring the world, learning its class, and leveling skills is all fun and games until a powerful rogue player with a vendetta shows up to wipe out Hudson and his primitive tribe. Thrust into a conflict he didn't create, Hudson is forced into a cycle of respawning where he learns that even death can be used as a tool. So much for that vacation. It's not like he signed up for any of this, or even went willingly, but when life hands you lemons, you use them to kill the dog-sized spiders that are trying to eat your face. So there you go. That's actually that's probably too long of a novel description, to be honest. This is a digital afterlife literature story. So that's essentially the setup. The setup didn't quite click for me, but it doesn't also matter because the main character is in the game world because of it, which is described already within like a few pages of the story. So I did like the fact that he's in the game world so quickly. The tutorial section of the story, which is about the first 25% of this novel, it's actually a really nice introduction to the game mechanics of the world. It shows the main character as a problem solver and that he uses his brain instead of necessarily might. And it provides a way to get the main character his magical advantage, or his advantage that makes him unique and the hero of the story. The game mechanics in the story are going to be kind of familiar. They're going to be familiar enough that you're going to kind of already have a feel for them, but they're still different and interesting. And then one of the more unique aspects of the story is that it's not just level based, but it's also skill based. And skills have to be slotted if they're going to increase past 10, which means that the main character and all the characters have to kind of choose what skills they're going to slot and either swap them out or leave them as those to advance them. The main character, this is a tiny bit spoiler. The main character gets a treasure hunting class, and it has a couple of aspects that feel like they're there for story purposes instead of like actual game mechanic purposes, or to advance the story or to be like story elements. But other than that, everything on the game mechanic side is really balanced and good, and it makes sense and it's interesting as it's shown throughout the entire story. I like learning about the game world, and I like learning about the game rules and how the main character kind of maximizes their use very logically. About 25% of the story, the main character finally meets other players, which adds social conflict, community building, survival aspects, and crafting, basically, because nothing in the game world is provided. So everything has to be built from scratch, including weapons, homes, clothes, tools, respawn points, all those different things. So there's very much a community and kind of social building. The only small complaints I kind of have with the story was that the villain, it felt very obvious who was going to be the villain in the story and who was going to be the love interest eventually. And those aspects felt a little bit forced. So, but other than that, everything in the story is really nice and entertaining, and I had a good time with it. And that's kind of point of reading stories, especially readings, just have a good time. And I definitely do with this one. Gets a score of 7.7 out of 10. That's PrimeVerse, forced to log in with the score of 7.7 out of 10.